I allegedly flooded my living room.
Hey, yo, turn me up. I know you hear me. Let's go. Real talk, I've been finding my way through this thing called living. Using these useless instructions that I've been given. But mistake after mistake, I pivot. There's no need to worry. I'll find my way. For every night that I can't help but cry. For every win bigger than the last one. For every time I don't care what they think, I show up as me authentic. I know I'll find my way.
Yeah, I'm moving out and I need to pack my shit up. Everything. The rumors are true. It's time to get the hell out of Rhode Island. I didn't really hate it here, but I really wasn't a fan of paying rent and dealing with this property management. I want things right now that living here cannot provide unless I live here for a little bit longer. Like, stay here and save up money instead of just going back home. Part of me is like, do I just miss Boston? I do miss Boston. I miss a lot of things about Boston, but at the same time, I don't talk to those people that I used to hang out with. I don't go to those places. So moving back home is gonna be literally a restart. Moving here was supposed to be a fresh start, but honestly, it felt more like a detour or a distraction from like what I actually want out of life. And I have this really terrible feeling if I stay here any longer, my dreams will not come true. I refuse to let that happen. Imagine me, old. Oh, I wish I would have done that. But I had to pay rent. No, I cannot. So I'm going to take something that everyone would probably consider as a step back. And I'm going to look at it as a step forward. Because who knows? This could possibly be the best decision I'm making for my life right now. Every time I meet someone now, I'm like, stay home. Like, if you can stay home. I have the option to hit a restart right now. So I'm going to take it. You know what I mean? I'm going to take this opportunity. It's been almost 2 years that I've been out of my home. So I'm hoping like the relationship with my mother gets better. If not, today is the day. We are leaving Central Falls. That's where I was living. I was living in the lines of Pawtucket and Central Falls, but I live on the side of Central Falls. All this stuff is packed away. There's trash, but it's all, packed away. Look at Ruby. Her and Cece don't even know what's going on. But this honestly feels like, you guys remember the last day of middle school when you guys are like finishing up and everybody's signing your shirts and shit? My mom and my sister and my cousin and my mom's husband went to go get the U-Haul. I have to finish. Actually, I have to unassemble my bed. That's what we're gonna go do now. Before they get here. I have this one memory that I remember being in my room, like praying literally for what I have right now. I want a new life. And then I got a new life. And then I was just like, oh, not this life. Not a life of rent and working. Again, like I don't mind working as long as it's something that I like to do. And I do not want to do retail. I don't want to do retail ever again. A few interviews in Boston lined up. So this is exciting. I'm excited most moments, and then other moments I'm like, am I making a big mistake moving back home? Should I just stay here and work and start to like at least try to start an actual life here? I put up my TV. My TV was mounted like 3-4 days ago. So I'm just trying to figure out if I'm doing the right thing, but at the same time I keep saying I'm figuring it out, but I'm moving. There's no going back. It's in motion. I'm moving. Can you not come in here right now? Thank you. I'm sorry. This is how I feel. I just want to make sure it's the right thing to do. I'm scared that I'm going to get back home and I'm going to sit on my bed and be like, I messed up. I'm going to be like, yo, why did I come back? That's my biggest fear, because it's not like I can't leave. If a month into living with my mom, I'm just like, I made a mistake. Like, we could just get out of it. We could just get out of there. Whew, tired. Moving back home, hopefully I will get back out there more again. I will lose this weight. So much has happened in the past few months since I've moved back. And I also want to tell you guys why I moved from Rhode Island, because I really thought I was going to be there for a really long time, but things happen. So much and so little happened. We moved out, my sister and I, because we wanted our own place, you know. We've been with our family for a long time, and mentally, it was draining. We just one day packed up our stuff and left. We were looking at multiple apartments. So this one was the last one we looked at, and I was like, you know what? If we just don't move, we will not move. We decided just to move. The place was in a very convenient spot, so it was great. I didn't know much about Central Falls until I got there, but it wasn't really like a problem. I just heard like a lot of, folk tales, about that place. Living in Rhode Island mentally was also draining. But the whole point was to finally have a place where we have our own peace. We can control who comes in and out of our space. Because, living at home, family members have friends, family members have other family members they like to invite over. I live in a Dominican household where, I was and still am that house where, they play music till like 5 o'clock in the morning for everyone to hear. When we moved out, it was exciting. I was still only working gigs. Like I was doing freelance photography and I was doing production assistant jobs. That was going to go fine for a couple months because I didn't have to pay that much rent. But my first week, I allegedly flooded my living room. Allegedly. I left my faucet in the kitchen running, allegedly. And the apartment was like slanted. I didn't care because I just wanted to move out, but my apartment was slanted, so when the water ran down the sink, allegedly, it just all ran into the living room and made a big pile of water, allegedly. My neighbor came upstairs. She asked me, why was there water running down her kitchen wall? And then for some reason, allegedly, I freaking told her, allegedly. I could have just said, I don't know. Allegedly, I could have just said, I don't know. So then she called maintenance, and maintenance had to fix her walls. But, they asked questions, and she had to tell them. And I was charged $1,000. So I had to get a real job. I also had to get a real job because, working gigs, and it's not always consistent. So, and then sometimes I don't want to do photography. Not that I don't like being hired for photography gigs, but I'm not a photographer, so I don't feel confident in that. But they still hire me, still take the job because it's money, but I'm not comfortable in doing that. I really want to do more poem visuals, and I really want to do more music videos. I have ideas, so I had to get a real job. I had to get a 9 to 5, and I haven't had a 9 to 5 since like 2018, 2019. I ended up getting a retail job, got hired for Christmas, and then after Christmas, I got hired full on. It was terrible. It was so bad. I wasted a lot of time standing around and putting back clothes that people, grown ass white women, couldn't put back. It was just freaking crazy. I'm never doing that shit again. Never doing that shit again. It took so much energy, so much freaking energy. So because of that, I spent the next 2 years filming and editing but not posting, or just doing shorts. And I just was like, as long as I'm doing shorts, I was happy, because I was miserable because I wasn't uploading. And if I was uploading, I wasn't uploading what I wanted to upload. I wasn't creating exactly what I wanted to do. And it got to a point where I didn't want to do anything anymore because I was working so many hours. I was working more than I'm used to. Except now I wasn't able to leave the house. Yeah, I left the house and we did a couple things. We celebrated Christmas there. We did a couple things. But other than that, it literally felt like we never left the house. We left the house, but it felt like we never left the house because there were bigger things on our list that we wanted to do, or places we wanted to see. I'd never been to the beach in Rhode Island. Never been to the beach in Rhode Island. But I'm going this summer, so it's okay. And it's crazy. I never really got to know my neighborhood. Well, I got to know my neighborhood. But Boston, I feel like I know all of Boston. And I feel like I never got to know Rhode Island. For 2 years, I was just not really myself. I also started eating meat again. I'm not a pescatarian anymore. Before my 27th birthday, I kept craving wings. I just kept craving it. And before I stopped eating meat, I was disgusted by it. That's why I stopped eating it. I just couldn't eat it. So I went 5 years, and then one day I was just craving wings. And the day before my birthday, I told my sisters, would y'all judge me if I ate chicken again? And they said no. And then I started eating meat again, and that got bad because I was emotionally eating. That was my way of making myself happy. Can't control everything else that's going on, right? But I could definitely control, the food that I eat. I could treat myself this way is what I felt. And it's not the best way to treat yourself, I was like, I need to be happy. I need to eat the things that make me happy, which is not the solution. I blew up like a beach ball, but I'm used to this. My body fluctuates. I gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. But for 5 years, I kept the same weight. I just want to do that again, okay? I just want to do that again, and I have plans to get back on track. I've lost some weight since I've gotten back. But yeah, I got out of Rhode Island because I felt like I was running away from what I really wanted. I just wanted peace. I wanted for once in my life to not live with my family and not be so stressed out all the time. I felt like my head was so clouded, and I was trying to do my own thing, but at the same time, everyone was expecting something from me, and I was just like, I can't be here. I have to get into my own bubble. But what ended up happening was I was working to live in that apartment. I'm wasting so much time here when I could be creating my videos, when I could be editing, when I could be directing new projects, and I could be learning the things I want to learn, because I have a list of things I've been teaching myself. That would make me so upset. My sister had her own thing going on, and maybe I'll insert something with her telling you guys.
I feel amazing that we're moving back to Boston. I think Rhode Island was nice and everything, but we didn't really get to explore that much because of the time. I was working, Kimberly was working all the time, and I was still working in Boston. So traveling back and forth every day for work was very exhausting, and most of the time when I did have free time, I wanted to just make up for all that tiredness. I wanted to sleep. And when we did go out, it was once every blue moon. We did go out for a couple holidays like Christmas, so it was really nice to experience Christmas in Rhode Island. We went to one of the events in downtown, I think, hosted by the mayor or the town hall, wherever it was. And that was really fun. We got to see a bunch of food trucks, see Santa, and also a lot of groups that did creative outfits back then. But yeah, I'm really happy to be back in Boston. Raised in Boston, love Boston. Just wish Boston was more affordable. But I'm glad to be back. I am excited for this year. I think moving back was a sign for greatness for this year, because things have been going how we want it to go. We've been manifesting everything. I think this year has been probably the best start of the year.
Yeah, we both had our own things going on. The first year we were there, we decided we wanted to move out. We wanted to leave. Then we thought about it and we were like, nah, we like our peace. By the second year, that's when we were like, okay, we want to chase our dreams. We want to go after our dreams. And if we stayed here any longer, we would not be able to actually do that. It's not possible. Some people would be able to push through it in a couple years, get what they want. But I want what I want now. So I have to start now, you know? When I got back to Boston, for what felt like months, I sat on my bed. Again, I didn't literally sit on my bed for months, but figuratively, it literally felt like I sat in my room for months because I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, what do I do? So something, I don't know what it is. Some things like go back to school. My friend's currently in school right now, and then my sister's currently in school right now. And for me, I never considered going back to school. If you see on social media that I graduated from a university, I actually did it. And I will talk about that maybe in another video, but I'm not gonna clear up anything right now. Just know I didn't graduate. And they're not AI photos. I decided to go back to school. I am in my second semester in spring. At first, this whole thing started with me thinking I wanted to go to mass art. I'm not in mass art. I didn't apply. I decided I wanted to go view mass art. Everything was absolutely perfect. I loved it. But what? Oh, it was a few months before I would actually start if I got in. And the way I'm feeling is like, no, I want to do this right now. Like if I can't, like I had been sitting, it felt like I was sitting on my bed for 5 months. So at that point I was like, no, like I need to do this right now. Like I need to get out of this room right now. Because I decided it wasn't for me right now. I'm not going to apply. I want to find a program online or something. So I'm looking online for animation courses. There are no animation courses. And I'm like, dang, I don't want to be in mass art for 4 years. And by the time I finished college, if I went for 4 years, I would be 29, 30, 31, 30, 32 years old. And everyone's like, it doesn't matter. And I know it doesn't matter. But I have these plans that I want to achieve. And I felt like if I went to school, I was going to be stuck in school for a really long time. So I was like, no, I can't do 4 years in mass art. I just can't do 4 years in mass art. I don't even want to be in the United States in the next 4 years. So I can't do 4 years. So then I started looking to community colleges. I looked everywhere. I almost applied to Bunker Hill because they had a graphic design. At the time, I was looking into graphic design. I forgot to tell you guys that. A lot of people were surprised. People thought I would go for film. But I was like, no, I don't understand graphic design. And I know it's funny for me to say that because of my videos. But I really do not understand graphic design. I do not. I am so serious. So I was looking for graphic design everywhere. And then when I looked online, I would look for either graphic design or animation. I found multiple community colleges that did graphic design, right? But then now it came down to what do they actually teach? How far are they? How much is it going to cost me? It's actually free because I never actually got my degree. Don't believe Facebook. I really didn't get my degree. Trust me, I really didn't. This time I am though. So then I found a school, and I don't want to say the name of the school because some of y'all be weird. So I found a community college that I applied to, I enrolled to, and I'm obsessed with the school. Like, I'm obsessed with the school. I think I'm going to tell you which my major is, which is going to give the school away, but it's funny because I was looking for graphic design classes everywhere, and I found that Bunker Hill had graphic design, and I found that Quincy College. I almost went to Quincy College a couple years ago. Quincy College had graphic design too, but I don't know what happened. I decided to look into another school, and I found this TV program, like television program. And honestly, I can't remember why I chose this school. It might have been because I went there before, like a couple years ago. I went to this community college, and then I dropped out. My major is broadcasting media technology, BMT. At first, I really thought it was just like creating news because of the studio. Yes, we have a studio, but no, it's literally learning how to be a producer, a director, which is the classes I'm taking now. It's learning how to create television. It's learning how to create films. It's learning how to create content. It's learning how to create videos
I don't know what other words I could use, but yes, so I found the BMT program and I was like, ooh, this is so shiny, so beautiful, so new. And I was upset I didn't know about this in 2018 because they were there in 2018. Honestly, in 2018, I didn't know what I wanted to do. In 2018, I worked at Dudley Street Promise Corps under the AmeriCorps program. Yeah, if I would have known this program was here, maybe. But I also wasn't that into social media. Not social media. Wasn't that into creating videos until like 2019. It started in 2018. This time around, like, I feel excited about it. My sister keeps calling me a nerd. I ordered my textbooks. I can give my professor back his because he let me borrow one of his. But yes, my last term, I only took 2 classes because I was only able to take 2 classes. But I got an A and an A minus. Now this term, I'm taking 5 classes. I will be sharing with you guys community college videos. I really want to call them uni videos because I think that sounds so much cuter than community college videos. But I feel like that would be wrong. That would be wrong, I guess. But also, who's it wrong to? Who's it wrong to? Because if I decide it's called uni, we're going to see what I end up doing. My sister thinks I'm a nerd. I swear I'm not a nerd. I just really love school this time around. Back in the day, I was not worried about school. I was worried about the wrong thing. But this time around, I'm like very excited to be in class, very excited to meet people, get to know people, participate on campus. Yeah, I might be a nerd, but it's okay. I got a job on campus doing work study for the Media Lab. I keep calling it Media Lab, but I don't think it's called Media Lab. For the Media Arts building, I'm going to be working in there, you know, with the camera equipment, with the studio, with all that stuff, with the computers. It is so exciting. I feel like a child again. I'm very lucky I get to do this. This time around, my family isn't bothering me about not having a job. I think it's because right now everyone's just kind of like trying to live, you know? But yeah, at least I'm making some money, right? And I'm also getting my education, and I'm making new friends, and I'm learning to work in groups because it's pretty hard. But yeah, that's how it's been ever since I've gotten back. It's been very eventful. I will be sharing me pivot into college. This is so exciting. Yeah, expect more videos. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Something so special, something so real. Tell me, boy, how in the fuck would you feel?
This is the fucking Anime Boston after party.
She's like, hey, there's water flooding my kitchen while it's coming, you know, down my walls. And I, like a freaking nice person I was, explained to her the situation. Next day, I am hit with a $900 charge for ruining not 1, but 2 apartments in my building. 2.